Hi, today we're going to be discussing creating an online evaluation tool. First of all, what is evaluation? Briefly, evaluation is the final phase of the instructional design process. Evaluation addresses the effectiveness of learning materials. There are two types of evaluations that you can use. One being formative, which measures how well the instruction supported the desired learning objectives, and the purpose is used to determine the effectiveness of the instruction and to pinpoint ways it can be improved. Summative, however, measures the degree in which the targeted learners obtain the desired outcomes of the instruction. This is usually done after the completion of a course or a workshop or continuing education and is usually done by an outside source other than the program designer. This information has come from the book Integrating Technology into Nursing Education Tools for the Knowledge Area. So, are we ready to learn? What we're going to do is we are going to take a look at a survey has already been created before by someone, and we're just going to take a look so we can definitely see how a survey will look. So let's just get out of this here. And let's take a look at this one. This one is evaluating a tool called Prezi. And Prezi is a tool that's sort of like PowerPoint. And it was done in a graduate school class. It was presented to a group of students, and they had an assignment to create an online survey based on that use of that system. So right here, as you can see, we have a nice survey that's been done for us, and this is our survey title. And let's just keep these things in mind when we're creating our own in just a few minutes. You see right here we have 5 nice simple questions, and they are formative questions. And as you can see, we have this one right here. How would you rate your computer skills? Now, one thing that we want to keep in mind when we're creating a survey is we want to think about making this survey applicable to all types of users. We want to make sure that our questions are precise and they are clean and they are clear and straight to the point. There's nothing wrong with this survey because a survey is simply developed based on how the developer deems it necessary to ask the questions. In this survey right here, our first question says, how would you rate your computer skills? Which is something very good when you're first addressing a survey to take a look at, because you want to just get a broad, baseline perspective of what's going on before you continue to ask questions. The survey evaluator here has chosen to use the term novice, and proficient. I would probably use a more universal term rather than novice because everyone may not understand that novice is what we call a beginning learner. There's nothing wrong with this for the appropriate survey that was used for that class. However, I might refer to a term, I may just say what the term is beginner, or I may use terms like beginning, intermediate, advanced. What did you find most helpful in navigating the program? And these are helpful questions because this sparks the learner's interest into just kind of recapturing what was going on, and they can also give feedback so that if this evaluator was doing this survey again, and not only doing the survey but using the tool again, they could see from previous users what was most beneficial to them. So if we can see here, this is a nice survey, 5 general questions that asks us about the survey. And one thing to keep in mind when you're doing your surveys, you want to keep them short and straight and simple to the point because you want your participators to actually participate in the survey. So let's go ahead and try to create a survey on our own. We've seen this great example of one. Let's try to create one of our own. Now there are several different avenues that you can use to create a survey. It's up to your own choosing and picking. So your institution may have one they prefer. But for this learning experience today, we're going to use SurveyMonkey. So what we're going to do is go to our Google bar and we're just going to type in SurveyMonkey. Now before we continue, we want to keep our survey up, so we're going to go to our new icon. Okay, and we're just going to click here, and this is a free tool that you can use. Now, if you do not already have an account on SurveyMonkey, this is be a good time for you to go ahead and take a moment and to create your own account. The account is free. There are upgraded versions that you can use within SurveyMonkey, but for what we need to do today, we can simply use our free account. So I'm allowing you to take this time for you to go ahead and create your account as I log into mine. Okay. Once you're logged in, if you already have an account user, as you can see, I have previous surveys that I've already done. And as you can see right here, they have several different options that you can choose once you get a little bit more familiar with this tool that you can upgrade. Now, this is a cost to upgrade. However, if you want to go ahead and create free SurveyMonkeys, which we're going to use today, you just simply go ahead to create survey. Okay, so the first thing here, it's asking us, should we create a new survey, copy an existing survey, use a survey template? We're going to create a new survey. So our title of our survey will be Prezi Evaluation. Okay, and we're going to hit continue. All right, here we have where you can choose your survey design. Now you can choose various colors, it doesn't mind. These are all the free things that you can do. You can create a custom theme if you have the advanced account. You can do those things also. We'll click on this thing. You see this is where you have to upgrade to create custom things, and see it gives you a few more options with some different things that you can do. So we're going to go back because we don't have the Pro feature. We're going to use our regular feature that we have, and we're going to go ahead and keep our color the blue ice. But if you want to see how to make a color change, you just select your color and it'll make a change for you. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add a page because we're going to make a title page. And it just says we're going to enter a short title. So we're just going to say Prezi. And we're going to do a brief description of what it is. And this is just something to let your users know what they're filling out. And we're just going to say a brief survey evaluating there we have a brief survey evaluating the product Prezi. Okay, so our users know exactly what they're doing. And we're going to save our page. And this will be the first page of our survey. So now we're ready to add our questions. So we want to start with the beginning questions, kind of like our first survey we evaluated over here did, was how would you rate your computer skills? So we're going to take that same question, and this is where you select your question type. There are all different types of questions, and we'll select a few so you can see how some of them look. But for right now, we're going to do the multiple choice in boxes. And see right here, this is just how you select where you want your little icons to appear in buttons or horizontal buttons, 2 columns, 1 column. We're just going to do the 1 column. So our question is, how would you, did we lose our survey monkey? Okay, we'll just go back to it. Let's see if it's saved in my surveys. Here we go. That's the good thing about this, and that was actually something good for you to see. If you get clicked off, you can just go right back to it. Alright, so let's add our question. Okay, we're going to do multiple answers. So we're going to say, how would you rate, let's see, we have, how would you rate your computer skills? So we're going to say, let's say, beginner, rate your computer skill level. Let's do that. I'm going to say beginner, intermediate, advanced. Okay, and so you have some options that you could do down here. We're just going to keep it with this one. Okay, so we have our question. How would you rate your computer skill level? Beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Now, I intentionally did not capitalize or add a punctuation because I wanted you to see that you can go back to the question and you can hit edit at any time and you can just change what you need to change. So we're going to make our changes. Real nice system to navigate through. Okay. All right. Now let's add another question. Take a look at our question here. What did you find most helpful in navigating the program? So we could take this same question and we could actually take this question and we could say, what did you find most helpful in navigating the program? Tutorial, clicking around, classroom demonstration. And what we can do is we can take this question and we can make it a rating scale, or we can make it a matrix of choices. Let's do a matrix of choices. So we're going to say, what did you find most helpful? Okay. And our answer options are going to be tutorial. Let's see, we have tutorial, clicking around, and classroom demonstration. Okay. And then we're going to say, yes, helpful, somewhat helpful, very helpful. And we're going to come up here because this is important. You need to give your answer choices and levels. So we need to start out with not helpful, somewhat helpful, or very helpful. Or we can go very helpful, somewhat helpful, or not helpful. But it's just important to not do somewhat helpful, not helpful, very helpful, not very helpful. You just need to stay in a sequential order.